Well, once again, Superman and Lois delivers a strong episode. They're still struggling with Lois's illness. There's still the nefarious dealings of Bruno Mannheim, which John Henry Irons Steel has to deal with more, which makes sense because Superman's a little busy with troubles at home, and this involves him more because Bruno Mannheim is threatening his sister. Well, not really his sister, the alternate universe version of his sister, because you remember he's from another Earth, and I guess they've completely established that his alternate version has died, that Bruno Mannheim had him killed. But then again, they can always pull a fast one, and turns out he's being held prisoner somewhere and shows up. That kind of thing. Maybe not. But I tell you, the key thing about this show is its ability to navigate the different aspects of it, because it's primarily this, soap opera. And you've got your family dramas going on, the stuff between Lana and Sarah, and then her dad having to come in and try to mediate and make peace between them all, which he does, and it works out very well. There's rough edges, as there would be, but it's not a total, another father being taken down, and that's not the case. He actually pulls them back together as far as that goes, between the mother and daughter. There's some back and forth between Lois and Clark. Clark is being super duper pooper scooper protective of her, and telling the boys because they get in a fight over Jordan taking John's sweater or hoodie, whatever it was. And, he goes, keep that crap down. Your mother's dealing with her illness, you little assholes. And they're like, oh, yeah, sorry. Well, which, he's right. But at the same time, she snaps and said, I'm supposed to deal with their troubles too. And there's more serious troubles than that, especially for Jonathan. He's dealing with his girlfriend's father, who's just a complete piece of crap, who stole his truck. And in this episode hits him, and he tries to hide this from Lois, but Lois she sees the black eye, and then she's like, hey, well, what's this all about? And of course, part of the deal of her anger, of course, and struggle is credible because she's facing her own mortality, and at the same time, she doesn't want to feel like she's lost everything already. She wants to be a mother to her sons, and she wants to continue her work. She's still looking up stuff about Bruno Mannheim. And but as it plays out, of course, utilizing Steel could work a lot, which in a roundabout way is what happens. Now, Steel's upset because he didn't know anything about this, and they were looking into it. And especially now with the revelation of Superman's blood having been stolen, they explain that, how it happened and all that. He's a bit pissed off of being left out of the loop, but they clear that, and then Lois finds a way for her to play a role in it that fits right in with her chemotherapy, because it turns out Bruno Mannheim set up the facility where she is. And she says, hey, look, if he tries anything, it would give him a bad look. And so I was like, well, I guess we'll go with this. But there's a good scene where Clark, he finds out about what happened with Jonathan, and he goes and whoops some ass on the on the trailer trash dad. Of course, he can't unleash his full Superman powers, but he taught the guy a lesson. And that works out, but now Jonathan's girlfriend has nowhere to go, so she moves in with them. So, and of course, he and Lois agree that this is probably going to be a disaster, but what are you going to do? You got to help the girl out. So anyway, that's what they do. But the other aspect of it is like, hey, the superhero action. So you get Steel for some of that. You get Superman. And right off the bat, there's a rather spectacular scene of a forest fire going on. And Superman saves a family who are caught in it. And then Jordan's with him. He's training Jordan. to be his sidekick there, and then there's a problem with Lois, and so Jordan says, "Look, I can handle this," and he says, "All right," and that kind of thing. So it's a cool thing between the two, but just the overall to come out of watching The Flash and then see this. And it's brief and everything, but they're economical with it, and it all works. That's one of the high points about how they weave this through, and with how much they can spend on spectacular superhero scenes with this type of stuff. And it just, as far as television goes, it looked really good. There they are in the midst of this forest fire, dealing with it, and it worked out. Another thing I was hoping would happen, the Sam Lane says, because there was pictures taken at the scene, and they caught pictures of this mysterious other new superhero, and of course it was Jordan. He was wearing his hoodie, which turned out to be his brother's hoodie, and that's how they got in a fight. But nevertheless, he's using it to disguise himself. Not much of a disguise, but you could see his hair. And so Grandpa says, "Look, it's time for you to get a haircut. You got to figure out a way to blend in, boy. Your mop top is just too much of a distinctive look." And I agree with Grandpa. Look, when I was his age, I had hair like that. And, when you're a kid, you're thinking of rock star style hairstyles and stupid stuff like that. And then later you're like, oh my God, that was so stupid. But hey, you're taking on a more serious role. You're going to follow your father's footsteps and all that. So he insults Grandpa. So then he's punished for that. Says, you don't talk to your grandpa like that, and this type of thing. So they rein in these boys in the way you should, and all of this. And Sarah's taken to task for what she said to her mother and all that stuff. So great foundation continues throughout the show. But ultimately, he doesn't get the haircut because Grandpa decides, all right, I came up with another idea. They don't show you exactly, but it looks like he's going to give him a disguise, probably his own super suit, probably some kind of mask. So there you go. That'll hide his features and the hair and everything. Probably a lot better than just wearing eyeglasses like Clark does, but what are you going to do? That's always been the story. So, great show. Some sinister confrontations between Steel and Mannheim. And off they go, So, continues to deliver.